go! So the conclusion to Chihiro and Sojo's battle has arrived in Kagurabachi, and people including myself are still hyped to see what will occur following this epic battle. Now, for those that remember, I stated that I wasn't sure if Chihiro had what it would take to beat Sojo, as well, yes, he was injured, he still had a significant Zenkai boost from his fight with the Kamonabi Elite, as he was able to essentially rubber band himself to Cloud Gouger after it was taken from him and coat himself in Mei's lightning. Well, yes, I definitely thought that Chihiro's efficiency with Nishiki and Kuro would give him a slight edge. I wasn't sure if this would give him an overwhelming advantage over Sojo, considering that in terms of pure strength, Sojo had him beat, and the fact that Sojo had enough battle experience to accurately predict Chihiro's move that was supposed to decide the match and nearly cut off Chihiro's head was instantly not a good look for our MC. Real quick pause on this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you. Are you looking for something fashionable and affordable to wear anime related these days? Are you looking for an anime inspired t-shirt, a hoodie, a hat, or even like lights or anything of that nature? Well, boy, I tell you, head on over to animeexpressstore.com and oh yeah, they'll hook you up over there. I actually just copped one of these Megami t-shirts. This thing's actually fire. I'm actually so excited to get it. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a special announcement for y'all. Go ahead at your next checkout, hit code Daffy10 for 10% off your next purchase, man. Oh yeah, we sponsored now, so I can curse in this bitch. Yeah! Remember, Daffy10, DAFFY10 for 10% off on your next purchase, man. So when we arrived to the battle, with the narrator stating that both of them suffering great wounds in their previous encounters and that both of their understandings with the Sacred Blades had deepened, I was absolutely hyped for this fight, man, and it delivered. Promise me it did. Starting off, I absolutely love the transition on this page, man. Seeing the underside of Chihiro's trench coat approaching Sojo to then only seeing a streak of shadow and lightning, giving a sense of exactly how fast these two are moving is absolutely astounding. Also, the backgrounds in this series are really great, almost to a disturbing degree. Like, we look at the faces in like character designs of a lot of these characters and look very plain and simple, but when we go to really intricate and intimate things such as like the hilt of Chihiro's sword or the backgrounds, even the food that some characters are eating, it's very detailed. I actually really enjoy it. I said this before and I'll say it again, I definitely think that if this series were to ever be blessed with an anime adaptation, I think the art style would lend itself to it very easily. When we open up chapter 17, the countdown on the clock for 12 seconds starts, and buddy, this is how you generate hype. I can already see a really talented director making great use of this time to give the audience a sense of urgency and anxiety. I'm telling you, if I don't end 2024 with a Kagurabachi anime announcement, I'm deleting my channel on stream. Well, that's actually a horrible bet considering Sakamoto Days doesn't have an announcement, and that's like 160 chapters in. Anyway, as soon as the battle kicks off, we get a cool conversation between Chihiro and Sojo, while obviously not being in real time, as two elite fighters with each sword strike they attempt to land on another. These are the unspoken words being shown to us as the audience. We get some interesting characterization from Sojo here, with Sojo admitting that he understands just what Chihiro is saying about how his father believed that the blades should be used to protect the weak, but he just simply doesn't care. The message that Sojo gathered is that the blades should be used for slaughter, and his beliefs are just as valid as Chihiro's because that is how he chooses to live his life. He extracted the Cloud Gouger's true power with his conviction, just as how Chihiro extracted N-Ten's true power with his awakening, so why would it be any less valid? The use of the camera and perspective throughout this fight is absolutely crazy. I said this before, and I'll say it again. We see just how fast Chihiro and Sojo are going, and the camera shifts to the closest who is in control at that current moment, and I absolutely love it. One of my favorite things about this manga is that the author actually goes through and shows each individual sword swing. It actually puts thought and care into the choreography. It doesn't just do a slash effect or like a streak of something. As the countdown moves closer and closer to zero, Chihiro gets countered by Sojo and unfortunately loses his right arm below the elbow. Chihiro is still remaining calm throughout this battle, but the fact that Chihiro loses his arm in this fight, and while even still a couple chapters later still does not have it, gives the series a sense of consequence and danger. I love it. Please, as authors go, I love when they stick and commit to destruction. That's my favorite thing. Like, you all remember how in Thor Ragnarok, Thor had his eye cut out by Hela, and in Infinity War, he rocked the eye patch for a bit, but then he got the prosthetic eye, and then everyone pretty much forgot that it even happened. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, having permanent damage on your cast really sinks in danger and makes it, apparent to the audience, this is not a game. I mean, to be fair, for all we know, this could be another Ares situation from My Hero, and Char could be training to heal Chihiro's arm completely. Who knows? I don't know. Chihiro confirms my suspicion and says that Sojo is faster than he is by coating himself in Maze Lightning, and he is still physically stronger than him at this current moment. Sojo begins to analyze the cards that Chihiro has at his disposal, and with a gamble, Sojo cloaks himself with twice the spirit energy that his body allowed and attempts to get a slice on Chihiro's neck to decide the final blow. Unfortunately, Chihiro decides to pull a Goku and use his spirit energy to 3 times of what his body would allow, rather than the 2 times Sojo was pulling out. Sojo attempts to do the same as he did last time they dueled and counter Chihiro from behind, but Chihiro slows himself down by releasing Nishiki last second, offsetting the timing and having Sojo react too early before he gets a devastating slash on Sojo's body. Before Chihiro nearly bisects Sojo, Chihiro remembers that his father did say something very similar to what Sojo was saying. These swords are still tools for killing people. Chihiro chose to cling on to the positive aspect of what his father was attempting to instill in him, and Sojo wasn't necessarily wrong in his understanding of what they were for. Chihiro swallows his pride, as shown with the treat that he finally eats with Sojo, and understands that they can both speak for his father, and he will cut Sojo down with thicker bloodlust than he could ever produce. Chihiro has unfortunately pushed himself way too hard and begins to cough up blood, and Sojo is stunned to think that Chihiro would go as far as to break Cloud Gouger to defeat him. Sojo believes that the Blades have chosen Chihiro to wield their power properly, but Chihiro actually says that the Blades have chosen him as well. Man, as short as this fight was, this is definitely the best fight in the series so far, as it is the climax of the arc, and I think it's actually nothing but fitting. This is amazing character development for Chihiro, as well as Sojo, which is a bit sad because I'm really, bummed out that Sojo might be dead. Sojo was an interesting foil for Chihiro as an unhinged and obsessed glazer of Rokuhira. While Chihiro believed that he knew his father's will inside and out, and to an extent, obviously he did, he is his son after all, he needed to come to his own personal understanding of his outlook on life and is getting closer and closer to that vision. We don't know this for certain, but I believe initially that Chihiro was going to try and retrieve Cloud Gouger in an attempt to save his father's honor. But as the fight goes on, Chihiro begins to understand that these sacred blades can't be allowed to fall in the hands of just anyone. That, or he could just repair Cloud Gouger at some point without us as the audience knowing. I have no idea. This is speculation. But coming to the conclusion of the fight, Sojo ends up attempting to crawl and use any power he has remaining in his body to transfigure the Detensky that he had collected from Char's body, but unfortunately for him, it ends up blowing his arm completely off of his body. Sojo thought that the enchanted blades were of his understanding now, but he wasn't compatible. The building ends up going up in flames, and Chihiro's last words to Sojo were, "The blade chose you too, but you will never stand equal to my father, and for that I will cut you down." Sojo screams out for Rokuhira, and that is the last we see of him before it is stated that the Kamunabi have identified his dead body. Now, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't really think he's dead. Like, yeah, I know, typical Daffy copium, blah blah blah, but stay with me. I think that Detensky is still relatively unknown in what it can do and how it can affect spirit energy. I mean, hell, we don't even know what spirit energy is or where it comes from in the body, like compared to other power systems in Shonen. Like, for example, in Jujutsu Kaisen, cursed energy comes from the stomach, but it needs to flow through the brain for proper use with reverse curse technique, such as Gojo and Sukuna. But here we arrive at the climax of our first arc in Kagurabachi, and I think it was masterfully done. Having Chihiro and Sojo's ascensions mirror each other almost exactly, and for our protagonist to have a very similar I am you approach to his ideal, it'll be very interesting moving forward, seeing what's going to happen with Chihiro's revenge quest, and as we go deeper and deeper into the world of Kagurabachi, and hopefully we get a deeper understanding of what exactly Detensky is and the power system and all this good stuff. As far as Chihiro's revenge quest, I'm really hoping they don't pull Last of Us Part 2, but we will see, right? And yeah, those are my thoughts on the final battle of Kagurabachi, man. I'm really hyped to see where the series will go. I actually posted a video or a picture of my volume that I got overseas for volume 1, excited to support it, you know, obviously because I believe in this manga. It's in Japanese, I won't be able to read it, but I'm still hyped anyway. If someone actually recognized me, I don't know which one of y'all did that, but someone wrote Daffy. That was pretty cool to see. And yeah, just yeah, make sure you guys go check it out, man. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. And make sure you take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Peace.